Beautiful morning to you and welcome to Breakfast News. I am David Okpokwasile. The headlines this morning: Zonal champions emerge in 2019 Governor Schools Debate Competition. NDLEA intensifies fight against illicit drugs in Anambra. Nigeria signs anti-human trafficking pact with Niger. On the foreign scene, Sudan protest leaders to unveil civilian ruling body tomorrow. We begin from here, where 24 schools have emerged as zonal champions at the ongoing 2019 Governor Schools Debate Competition organized by the Ministry of Basic Education in collaboration with Bring It On Africa, a non-governmental organization. The zonal champions comprises of 12 primary schools and 12 secondary schools from private and public schools in the state. Education correspondent Theophilus Okoha now reports.
Commenting the zonal champions, Commissioner for Basic Education, Professor Kate Omenowa, said their emergence shows they measured up to the expected standards set up for the debate competition and should prepare for the finals of the competition. She explained that the debates were designed to sharpen speaking ability of Anambra school children and charged their handlers to adhere to the expected standard during the remaining parts of the competition.
Sometimes we think that teachers, they with confidence in themselves. We want to package teaching and teachers in such a way that they begin to believe that they are actually the future of this country.
The State Debate Coordinator, Mrs. Amaka Anakwe, while congratulating the zonal champions, listed some of the rules and regulations to be adhered to during the remaining parts of the competition.
In the area of debate, Anambra State has been waxing strong, and we owe it big congratulations and thanks to our amiable Governor, His Excellency, the Governor of Anambra State, Chief Dr. Willie Madabrojumobiano, for ever supporting us. He sent us overseas to learn the new trend of debate.
Also speaking, the coordinator Bring It On Africa non-governmental organization, Mr. Joseph Chibo, said all the schools that emerged as zonal champions qualified due to their excellent performance at the local government levels and is fit to contest for the quarterfinals. Mr. Chibo also said participants of the competition have been automatically enrolled into the State Debaters Club of the state.
I am very proud to be an Anambarian. My next word, I will ask God, please make me to be from Anambra State. Because what we are seeing in this state means that we have youths and teens that have this talent to go far. But if only you can give them a proper platform, we are sure that they will excel.
In an interview, the chairman of Anambra State Universal Basic Education Board, ASUBEB Chief Patrick Obaja, expressed satisfaction with the performance of the schools to get to the zonal level and is optimistic that the best schools will get to the finals. The chairman, Board of Trustees, Bring It On Africa, Dr. Beatrice Okonkwo, in a remark, thanked Governor Willie Obiano for the enabling environment provided for teaching and learning to thrive in the state, assuring that they will consolidate on the existing infrastructure and education. Recall that 1,500 schools from private and public schools competed at the local government levels, where 24 schools emerged as zonal champions. The schools were later presented with certificates. 4th and 10th May 2019 have been fixed for the quarterfinals and finals, respectively, for the competition. Theophilus Okoha reporting for ABS News.
The Metropolitan of Onitsha Ecclesiastical Province and Archbishop of Onitsha Archdiocese, Most Reverend Valerian Okeke, has called on Christians to learn from the teachings of Christ and apply it to their daily activities. Most Reverend Okeke stated this in his Easter message at St. Anthony's Catholic Church, Umudioka. Amaka Chibuzo-Koye has details.
Most Reverend Okeke stated that if all should abide and live with the directives of the gospel, they will help to build a better society. He decried the high rate of violence and hatred in the nation, advising Nigerians to learn from Christ, who is love, and respect human life, as well as live in peace and happiness with others.
The Lenten season is a time of intensive prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. So as we conclude that season, it becomes a week of joy in that we intensify even that period, our prayer life, our thanksgiving, our penance in preparation for Easter.
The Anglican Bishop of Oka Diocese, Right Reverend Alexander Ibezim, in his message, condemned the incessant killing witnessed across the country. Bishop Ibezim, who was delivering his Easter message at the Cathedral Church of St. Faith's, Oka, beckoned on Christians to identify with the victory of Christ at the cross of Calvary and demonstrate his teachings in their activities to build a serene society devoid of bitterness and rancor. Bishop Ibezim maintained that human blood is sacred, stating that God created all in his image and warned that any blood spilled will ask for vengeance.
God has not created us to be killed like fowls or created individuals to be killed. Remember that human beings are created in the image of God, what we call imago Dei. So when you are killing a human being, you are killing an image of God.
In his Easter message, the Catholic Bishop of Oka Diocese, Most Reverend Paulinus Ezokafo, said that the resurrection of Jesus Christ is the basis for Christianity and hope for mankind. Most Reverend Ezokafo, who stated this at St. Patrick's Cathedral, Oka, said that if Christ has not risen, lives would be in vain, urging Nigerians to improve their spiritual lives. He urged Christians to defend their faith and stand by it, warning against false prophecies, which he said have led many to problems and difficult situations in life.
I call on all Christians to really go through the rituals and the celebrations of Lent in order to really enjoy the resurrection, because as we know very well, it's only somebody who has worked hard who will enjoy rest. And so if we have really done our Lent very well, then we have the joy of Easter.
Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
The Anambra State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arraigned 27-year-old Mr. Victor Ndubisu Nebu on a 2-count charge of unlawful possession of cocaine and cannabis sativa, popularly known as marijuana. The suspect was arrested with the substances at Ifitedunu Coffee Council area on the 16th of this month. Correspondent Daniel Ezigwe was at the hearing and now reports.
Nebu, who was said to have been caught with 10.4 grams of cocaine and 10.2 grams of marijuana, however, pleaded not guilty to the charges. The presiding judge, Justice I.B. Gafai, adjourned the suit to the 13th of June 2019 for hearing and ordered that the accused be remanded in prison custody pending his bail. Throwing light on the case, the Public Relations Officer of the NDLEA, Anambra State Command, Mr. Charles Odigie, said the suspect had been on the agency's wanted list for long and restated the agency's determination towards ridding the state of illicit drug dealers.
In the past 3 months, we've had over 15 convictions and we have over 105 pending cases, both Court 1, Court 2, Federal High Court in Oka here. So we are doing our best, but the problem we usually have with people like this is that immediately you take them out of circulation, they have boys that also sell for them. You see their boys taking over their position, but we'll continue to go after them.
Earlier, the defense counsel, Barrister Tawobi Aku, said that application for bail had been filed as the crime was bailable and that his client remained not guilty until proven otherwise by the law.
It is a bailable offense by virtue of Section 36, subsection 5 of our 99 Constitution says an offender is presumed innocent until the contrary is proved.
In Oka, Daniel Ezigwe, ABS News.
Christ the King Landlords Association Mkporo Udugu Akaboland in Oba, Idemili South local government area has been dedicated and its electricity project commissioned by the Bishop, Diocese of Amici, Right Reverend Ephraim Ikako. The executive members, stakeholders and residents of the estate gathered at the area to witness the event, which featured handover of the estate to God. Staff reporter Njideko Koe covered the ceremony and now reports.
Estate here, Christ the King Estate.
Christ the King Landlords Association was formed in February 2017 by many groups, individuals, and clubs that bought land in the estate, which has its boundary with Oguguoba and Isu to Oguguoba and Ezelembana villages, all in Oba. The leadership of the association deemed it fit to hand over the estate and its residents to God amidst praise singing and prayer on the land led by the presiding bishop, Right Reverend Ephraim Ikako. On the same day, the transformer donated to the estate by the state government was powered. Dedicating the association, Bishop Ikako, who spoke on Where is Your Foundation, noted that the success of any building depends on its foundation. He said that two contradicting foundations cannot work together, pointing out that foundation led by anyone determines his or her future. Bishop Ikako urged them to give their lives to Christ and renewed their spirit to overcome the desires of the flesh.
Some of us are suffering because of faulty foundations. Whatever you do, please check your foundation.
In his address, the chairman of the association, Mazi Okechukwu Nkute, thanked God for his sustenance, stating that they carefully selected a 30-man larger executive from different organizations that own land in the area to ensure unity, equity, and fairness among the members. He thanked the Anambra state government for releasing a 500 kVA transformer to the estate, as well as Isu and Ezele villages and individuals that assisted them.
We appeal to our members to always comply to the need of the association. Security equipment, motorcycles, etc. are highly needed. We appeal to individuals and groups to start developing their land as fast as possible for safety purposes.
In their remarks, the Vice Chairman, Mr. Gabe Obiora, and the Secretary General of the association, Comrade Patrick Onwuchekwe, two of the executive members, Evangelist Samson Ona and Mr. Sylvester Nnamene, thanked God for making their dream a reality and urged the residents to be their brother's keeper. The DPO Ojoto Police Station, Prince Ugochukwu Ezejiofo, and his Oba counterpart, Mr. Ifeanyi Abanafo, said they have been partnering with them for adequate security of lives and property. Others who spoke at the event include the legal advisor of the association, Chief John Nso, one of the founders, Mr. Okechukwu Ogunezu, Chairman Ezelembana Youth Welfare Association, Mr. Okudele Mmademeze, among others. From Christ the King Estate, Oba, Njideka Okoye, ABS News.
The National Agency for Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIB, and its Niger Republic counterpart have signed a pact to eliminate the menace in both countries. Reports have it that NAPTIB signed the agreement with Nigerian Agency Against Trafficking in Persons and Smuggling of Migrants in Abuja. In a communique signed by the heads of both agencies, Nigeria and Niger agreed to work together to stamp out the evil of human trafficking from both countries. Mrs. Julie Oka Donley, Director General of NAPTIB, signed on behalf of Nigeria, while her Nigerian counterpart, Madame Goge Maimona Gasbo, signed for her country. Among agreements in the communique are finalization and signing of a memorandum of understanding on the collaboration and organization of joint sensitization across border communities of both countries. And on business news, the Nigerian Communications Commission and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria have collaborated to strengthen the level of compliance by operators in the Nigerian telecommunications sector to the national and sectoral corporate codes of governance. The agreement was reached during a courtesy visit by the management and board of FRC to the commission in Abuja. According to the statement issued by NCC, the Executive Commissioner Stakeholder Management at the Commission, Mr. Sunday Dare, who received the FRC team, said the Commission was ready to provide its full support and collaboration by working together to entrench the better corporate governance practices in all sectors of the Nigerian economy. Sudan's protest movement said it will unveil a civilian ruling body tomorrow, piling pressure on the military council which seized power after toppling President Omar al-Bashir last week. The Sudanese Professionals Association called on its supporters, foreign diplomats and journalists to be present tomorrow outside Army headquarters, where thousands have kept up protests since Bashir's ouster demanding civilian rule. The SPA, which organized the 4 months of nationwide protests that led up to Bashir's overthrow, has toughened its stand against the military council, demanding its immediate dissolution and replacement. And on sports, North and South Korea, who are still technically at war, remain in the running to host the FIFA 2023 Women's World Cup. South Korea's Football Association has registered to bid for the tournament, expressing an interest in doing so with the North Korean FA. Any joint bid will be the latest in a number of displays of sporting unity between the nations at war since 1950. North and South Korea athletes took part in joint match at the Pyongyang 2018 Winter Olympics opening ceremony, also fielding a combined women's ice hockey team. Alongside the World Cup bid, the two countries are hoping to hold the 2032 Olympic and Paralympic Games together. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. You can subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. You can also follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV or on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. Now the main point before we go. Zonal champions have emerged in the 2019 Governor Schools Debate Competition. NDLEA has intensified fight against illicit drugs in Anambra. Nigeria has signed anti-human trafficking pact with Niger. On the foreign scene, we told you that Sudan protest leaders are to unveil civilian ruling body tomorrow. That's the package this morning on Breakfast News. I am David Opokwase. Thank you for joining us this morning.